The legal landscape is undergoing a profound, rapid metamorphosis, driven by twin forces of economic pressure and technological innovation, compelling a reevaluation of fundamental legal services. Nowhere is this shift more evident, or more fraught with both promise and peril, than in the burgeoning realm of DIY contract review. This isn't merely a niche trend. It's a seismic realignment that demands immediate attention from legal professionals, policymakers, and businesses alike. The stakes are immense. Missteps can lead to catastrophic financial losses, irreparable reputational damage, and a flood of litigation, while successful navigation could democratize legal access and streamline commercial operations in unprecedented ways. Consider the staggering volume of contracts underpinning the modern economy. A single Fortune 500 company can manage hundreds of thousands of active agreements at any given time, each representing a web of rights, obligations, and potential liabilities. Reviewing these, traditionally a laborious and expensive human-centric task, is now increasingly being pushed to self-service models, often augmented by artificial intelligence. The urgency of this phenomenon is underscored by compelling data. The 2023 Association of Corporate Counsel, ACC, Chief Legal Officer Survey revealed that 63% of CLOs are actively exploring or implementing legal technology solutions to manage contract lifecycle, with a significant portion targeting efficiency gains and cost reduction. This isn't a hypothetical future. It's the operational reality for in-house legal departments facing relentless pressure to do more with less. Furthermore, the global legal tech market, valued at over $20 billion in 2023 by Statista, is projected to grow substantially, with contract management software being a primary driver. This growth isn't just about large enterprises. Small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs, traditionally underserved by expensive legal counsel, are increasingly turning to self-service platforms like LegalZoom or Rocket Lawyer, or even leveraging sophisticated AI tools directly to draft, review, and manage their contracts. The democratization of tools that were once the exclusive domain of highly trained lawyers raises critical questions about competence, risk allocation, and the very definition of legal counsel. In a world where a significant portion of transactional legal work is becoming increasingly commoditized and automated, understanding the mechanics, implications, and regulatory challenges of DIY contract review isn't just academic. It's an existential necessity for the legal profession and a strategic imperative for any entity engaging in commerce. The time to rigorously analyze this paradigm shift is not tomorrow, but right now, as its effects are already reshaping the contours of legal practice and business operations globally. The current landscape of contract review is characterized by a fascinating and at times fraught interplay between traditional legal services and burgeoning DIY solutions. Far from being a niche phenomenon, DIY contract review has permeated various sectors, driven by a confluence of economic pressures, technological advancements, and a growing consumer demand for accessibility and speed. Large corporations, once the sole domain of white-shoe law firms, are increasingly exploring hybrid models. For instance, in 2022, a survey by Thomson Reuters found that 62% of corporate legal departments were already leveraging some form of legal tech for contract management, a figure that includes tools enabling in-house teams with limited legal expertise to conduct initial reviews. This isn't just about cost-cutting, it's about efficiency and agility in a fast-paced global economy. Consider the proliferation of online platforms offering contract templates and automated review tools. LegalZoom, for example, reported serving over 4 million customers since its inception, a significant portion of whom are small businesses and individuals utilizing their services for basic contract drafting and review. While these services don't replace a full-service attorney, they empower users to handle routine agreements like non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, or basic service contracts, thereby reducing the need for hourly billing on simpler matters. Similarly, Companies like Ironclad and DocuSign CLM, Contract Lifecycle Management, offer sophisticated platforms that, while primarily aimed at streamlining internal legal operations, also integrate features that allow business users to initiate and even partially review contracts, flagging common clauses or deviations from standard playbooks. This shift democratizes access to what was once exclusively expert domain knowledge. The real people driving this change are diverse. Small business owners like Sarah Chen, who runs a graphic design studio in Austin, Texas, frequently use online templates for client agreements, saving an estimated $500 to $1,000 per contract compared to engaging a local attorney for every new project. On the corporate side, procurement managers and sales teams are often the first line of defense, using AI-powered tools to quickly identify key terms and potential risks in vendor agreements or sales contracts before they even reach the legal department. Deloitte's 2023 Future of Legal Services report highlighted that over 70% of legal professionals believe AI will significantly impact contract review processes within the next 5 years, indicating a widespread acknowledgement of this evolving ecosystem. The numbers underscore this reality. The global legal tech market, heavily influenced by contract review and management solutions, is projected to reach over $30 billion by 2027, a clear indicator of the scale and momentum of this transformation. This landscape is not static. It is a dynamic environment where the lines between professional legal service and empowered self-service are constantly being redrawn. The operational mechanics of DIY contract review platforms represent a fascinating convergence of natural language processing, NLP, machine learning, ML, and user-centric design, fundamentally reshaping how non-legal professionals interact with complex legal documents. At its core, the architecture relies on sophisticated algorithms trained on vast datasets of legal documents, often encompassing millions of contracts, clauses, and judicial opinions. This training enables the system to identify, classify, and extract key provisions with remarkable accuracy, moving beyond simple keyword searches. For instance, platforms like LegalZoom and Rocket Lawyer, while primarily offering document generation, integrate review functionalities where users upload a contract and the system immediately initiates a multi-stage analysis. The initial phase involves document ingestion and optical character recognition, OCR, if the contract is scanned, converting it into machine-readable text. Following this, the NLP engine takes over, performing tokenization, lemmatization, and part-of-speech tagging to break down the text into its fundamental linguistic components. Crucially, semantic analysis is then applied to understand the context and meaning of clauses, differentiating, for example, between a force majeure clause in an M&A agreement versus one in a construction contract, despite similar phrasing. This contextual understanding is often powered by deep learning models, particularly transformer networks, which excel at capturing long-range dependencies within text. The process then moves into feature extraction, where the AI identifies specific elements like parties, dates, governing law, termination clauses, indemnification provisions, and representations and warranties. Each identified feature is then mapped against a predefined library of legal concepts and best practices, often customized for specific contract types, e.g., employment agreements, vendor contracts, lease agreements. For example, if a user is reviewing a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, the system will flag the duration of confidentiality, scope of confidential information, and return/destruction obligations, cross-referencing these against common industry standards or user-defined parameters. The architecture often incorporates a rules-based engine alongside the ML models, allowing for deterministic checks on specific legal requirements, such as ensuring a mutual indemnification clause is present when expected and flagging their absence or deviation. The final output is typically a user-friendly dashboard or annotated document, highlighting potential risks, missing clauses, or deviations from standard language, often with plain language explanations and suggested revisions, empowering the individual to make informed decisions without direct legal counsel. This intricate interplay of linguistic analysis, pattern recognition, and rule application forms the backbone of effective DIY contract review. The compelling arguments for DIY contract review coalesce around principles of accessibility, efficiency, and empowerment, particularly in an increasingly complex and cost-prohibitive legal landscape. Proponents assert that technology-augmented self-service solutions democratize legal understanding, making essential legal insights available to individuals and small businesses that might otherwise forego professional legal counsel due to prohibitive costs or perceived inconvenience. Consider the rise of intuitive legal tech platforms like LegalZoom and Rocket Lawyer, which have, for decades, offered templated agreements and guided document creation, demonstrating a sustained market demand for accessible legal tools. While these platforms traditionally focused on document generation, their evolution now often includes features that facilitate a degree of self-review, such as clause libraries and red flag indicators. The economic imperative is perhaps the strongest driver. For startups and small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, legal fees can represent a significant, often insurmountable, barrier to entry or growth. A 2022 report by Clio, a leading legal practice management software company, indicated that the average hourly rate for attorneys in the United States continues to climb, exceeding $300 in many jurisdictions. For routine contracts like non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, standard service agreements, or vendor contracts, the cost of engaging an attorney for full review can quickly escalate, potentially absorbing critical operational capital. DIY contract review, when supported by robust AI tools, offers a credible alternative. Companies like Lexiond AI and eVisort leverage natural language processing, NLP, and machine learning to rapidly identify key clauses, extract data points, and flag deviations from standard terms, often within minutes. This dramatically reduces the time and, consequently, the cost associated with initial contract triage and analysis. Moreover, the argument extends to increased business agility. In fast-paced commercial environments, delays in contract review can impede deal flow, product launches, and strategic partnerships. A business waiting days for an attorney's review of a standard vendor agreement might lose a competitive edge or miss a critical deadline. DIY solutions, particularly those powered by AI, enable near-instantaneous preliminary analysis, allowing business teams to move forward with greater confidence and speed. This agility is not about replacing lawyers entirely, but rather about augmenting internal capabilities to handle high-volume, low-complexity contracts efficiently. The insights gained from self-review, even if preliminary, can also empower clients to engage more effectively with their legal counsel when complex issues do arise, leading to more focused and efficient professional engagements. This shift represents a move towards a more informed client base, capable of performing initial due diligence and understanding the basic contours of their contractual obligations. While the allure of cost savings and perceived efficiency in do-it-yourself contract review is undeniable, a closer examination reveals a precarious landscape fraught with significant legal and financial risks, particularly when sophisticated transactions are involved. The very premise of DIY, that an untrained individual can adequately navigate complex legal documents, often overlooks the intricate interplay of statutory law, common law precedent, and industry-specific regulations that professional legal analysis provides. As Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. famously observed, the life of the law has not been logic, it has been experience. This experience, honed over years of practice and deep legal education, is precisely what is absent in DIY approaches.